Hello there, Tony here from UK College of Personal Development, and welcome no matter where you're watching. If you're watching on LinkedIn or YouTube or our Facebook page, or indeed one of the follow-up replays later on. Thank you for joining us, and this is the third and final test of our planned and scheduled brand new service that we're going to be providing, which is the Wednesday lunchtime lunch and learn. Wednesday lunch and learn is what we're going to be doing. And thank you for all of the comments we've had back about suggestions. And sorry we missed the live broadcast, but we watched on the replay. It's really, really great. And all of that, that's been really, really helpful. And we'll feed all those ideas and comments into what we're going to be doing. So this is the third test. So what are we going to be doing today? Well, today we're going to be testing every feature we can. So the last couple of tests, we tested a couple of different things. This time around, we're going to be testing every single feature that we can possibly squeeze in to the time that we will have live today, including having, guess what, an actual real person, and we're going to be doing an interview. And it's a graduate of the college, UK College of Personal Development, who volunteered herself, which was very, very nice of her to do that, and I will introduce her in a second. The other thing we're going to do as well is we're going to give away a couple of books, a bit of swag. So if you're interested in these kind of subjects, you may be interested in having a couple of these books. And let me make sure we'll put that thing up there right now. So all you've got to do for that, let's go to the banners. You put in the chat, hashtag book swag. And then at the end, if there's enough people in the chat, we'll run the system, and that will pick a winner, and we'll take your details and be able to send those books out in the post. We've also got a bunch of offers to give, including some free courses, which we'll mention towards the end of the broadcast. Now, let's just see if I get all of my notes up together. I think I have. So that's all of that. So we've done the swag thing, so that's done. So without further ado, I will introduce our guest. Let me just go back to comments on here so I see if somebody comments. And her name is Lisa, and I will get her to introduce herself. So let me introduce Lisa now. There she is. Hello, Lisa.
Hi, Tony. Hi, thank you for having me. So my name's Lisa Harwood, and I'm a service manager for Oxfordshire Mind mental health charity. And I've completed the ILM level 5 and the NLP practitioner coaching certification with the college.
You certainly did.
I did, yeah.
So let me just ask a couple of questions around that, because in a way I think it's slightly unusual, because you did two things, back to back in actual fact. Yeah. So the first thing you did was the level 5 coaching and mentoring with the ILM.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering, what was it about that you really enjoyed, that you thought, you know what, I'm going to do more of this, it's something interesting? Tell us a little bit about your journey, I guess, as an ILM student with the college.
Yeah, so I've had some coaching in the past and always found it really effective and really got a lot from it. So I was always a big fan of coaching. And then the opportunity came up to do the ILM level 5 through my organisation to improve my management skills and use coaching with my direct reports. That's what I use the practical coaching aspects of the ILM to do. And that had significant positive impacts on my direct reports in terms of improving their confidence, improving their time management, just giving them space to be able to work through some meaty issues. And they all commented that it was sort of better in some ways and more effective than the regular supervision that we've been having up to that point. So just saw that it was really, just really, really powerful and effective in how it supported them and their development. And actually, I really enjoyed the assignments. Mel, my tutor, right. She said, I think I was the only person that just was upset when the assignments finished, because I really get a lot from them, and I was learning so much, and I wanted to continue that learning journey, I guess. So that's when the NLP course came up. NLP, I've read a couple of books and had a bit of a basic introduction some years ago, and so it was something that had always sort of piqued my interest. But I thought it'd be useful to have those additional skills in my coaching toolbox.
Sure.
But I didn't realise the kind of journey I would go on, the self-discovery journey that I would go on. So I was thinking about me gaining some tools for my coaching, but actually it was a huge journey that I went on with that process.
Right. So I'm going to ask you a question about that in a second, but if I just take you back.
Yeah.
So obviously our format for delivering the ILM qualification is it's kind of our version of a blended learning process where it's all online. Some of it's distance learning, you know, self-study content. We give you some books. There's tons and tons of content on the learning platform. How did you find that? Because a lot of people think, I'm not sure about distance learning being supported by a tutor, but what would you say was your experience of that?
So I was a little bit apprehensive when I started because I hadn't done any formal education for sort of 20 years since I left university.
Sure.
So I was thinking, am I going to be able to do this? And what sort of, but actually I felt really supportive. The expectations were really clear from the tutor. So I felt, I knew what was expected of me. You know, I was able to do the reading and the research, and it was a really positive experience. It's interesting now contrasting it to the NLP where you have, you know, the live kind of sessions and lots more practice. That, you know, I think that just adds so much more, you know, but is, you know, for the NLP. But I really enjoyed both for different reasons, I guess.
Yeah. So if we contrast that, then you've kind of sort of preempted my next question is obviously with the NLP training program, it comes with a coach certification as well from the Association for Coaching. That's all live like this actually. Well, not on this platform, but on Zoom. So what was your experience of that?
I think doing the practical coaching elements and all of that practice was just so valuable. And I think, you know, the book that I'm reading at the moment, Karen Faulkner's NLP Professional, where she sort of talks about there are NLP courses out there that are £7-8 you can do online, but actually the real, you know, it's quite shocking that's there really, because you just don't have, you need to have that practice to be able to walk the talk and to be able to use the skills and to do, you know, to do the best job you can for your clients. So
absolutely.
I think it was fantastic. We, you know, very fortunate to be part of quite a big group, all very supportive. We're still in touch now on WhatsApp and supporting each other on our journeys beyond the course, which is really lovely.
Great. Now you mentioned you weren't prepared for, perhaps, or you were surprised maybe about how much of a personal journey it was as well, personal development journey. Would you be able to sort of share maybe one or two insights you had about yourself or who you are in the world and where, I guess for me, when I did my original training a million years ago now, I remember thinking, wow, that's who I am. And actually that's who I could become.
I think definitely in terms of my confidence has definitely increased. But I remember doing particular NLP change process, which includes parts integration, and there was this, I felt this physical kind of weight of this part of this lack of belief that was holding me back, and actually really exploring that and understanding what that was doing for me and why that was there, you know, really helped to sort of integrate that through that process. And, you know, I feel now that the sky's the limit and I can, you know, I can take this wherever I want to. And it's really, it's just, the energy that I've got about it is, just really positive and really huge. And I'm really,
wow,
feeling in a really good place.
Fantastic. Now, what else did I say? I would make sure that I ask you. Okay, so for anyone watching the replay of this, how would you sort of rate the level of support that you had? Because when we first started doing online, because obviously for 20 years we did it in person in the training center here in Swindon. And then Boris said, you must stay at home. And we thought, crikey, what we're going to do now? So we went online and we figured out very quickly what does work and what doesn't work. And it was very clear to us, we had to put in extra sessions to support, you know, supervision, practice, all of those kind of things. I mean, it's easy for us sometimes to think, oh, we're doing a great job, but without putting you on the spot, how would you sort of rate that experience, or what would you kind of say about that, how you were supported throughout?
I think, you know, the days are quite intense, and I wondered how I'd cope with doing that sort of all day online, but there was plenty of breaks factored in, and having the weekly call in between to ask any questions, additional things that come up, because I'm quite a reflective learner, so I, you know, straight away it might not come to me, but then after a day or two when things have been percolating, I might, you know, have some questions, and, you know, we can reach out obviously via email and other ways, but it was just good to have that coaching kind of call where we'd come together and ask those questions, or other people would ask questions. We think, oh, actually, that's really helpful. So I think the way it, you know, it was delivered was really good. I think having a range of tutors, different kinds of approaches, really different energy levels, different ways of
we're all very different
delivering. Yes, definitely. But I think that's really interesting as well. And it's, and that's really good.
I think
having
a few
that,
people say, some of the other guys are not like you. No, they're not.
No.
Which is a good thing, because I think 18 days of me might get a bit, let's go with hard work, I think. I don't know, but I think.
High energy.
So it is good that we've got that.
Which is good,
contrast.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic. Okay, I think that's the end of the questions I got sort of planned that I think I ought to have asked you. Other than to sort of say to you, is there anything else you would like to add? I mean, I don't know what that might be. But...
Yeah, I just think that it has been a really positive experience. I said to you before we came on here that when I sort of was looking at the ILM and where to do that, I was taking a bit of a punt because I hadn't heard about the college before, but I've had a really positive experience, and that's why I went and did the NLP practitioner, and hopefully we'll do the master practitioner with you at some point in the future. I'm having a bit of a break because I think doing 2 courses back to back, I want to kind of just consolidate and practice, the skills that I've got.
It was fairly heroic of you to jump straight into a second course. I was like, wow, this is...
But it also helped me because the ILM, I think that's what I was going to say about the ILM, because you can do it at your own pace, so there aren't necessarily set, you have to do it within a certain period of time, but because it's a little bit more flexible, it helped me have a final deadline to have the NLP starting, so I knew that I had to finish the final reflective assignments and sort of tie that up. So that was helpful. That's why I did it as well, partly, to give myself that deadline. But I'm going to have a little bit of a break, and then I will be back to do the master practitioner at some point.
Marvelous. Yeah. That's fantastic. Actually, we are planning to do some live in-person things in the very near future, so that'll be exciting because we actually haven't seen students in the flesh for such a long time. So I will just fill in a couple of gaps there. It's just occurred to me somebody might find that useful information. So when you do an ILM course, ILM level 5 or level 7 in coaching and mentoring, the ILM give you 3 years. And if you're doing certificate in particular, we encourage you to do it in around 18 months. We understand for the diploma, it might take a bit longer because there's more hours of coaching and mentoring that are needed to be recorded. But we support the students all the way through that. With the NLP practitioner and AC coach certification, it's slightly different because there's a set schedule, and it's pretty much just over a year. From the start date when we start live training right through to the end, and then the bit at the end where we give people some time to get in all of their assignments and get them marked and do the final sort of assessment. So that's a bit tighter than the other one, which you can take 3 years, and people do. Actually, people have had extensions and gone on for 4 years, which I don't understand why you would do that, but I guess life gets in the way sometimes, and what can you do? It happens. Okay, Lisa, this has been fantastic. And as our test subject, you've been marvelous.
Oh, thanks.
I really appreciate it. Because we've now tested everything pretty much on this software. So we're going to be doing this all of the time now, every Wednesday, and I'm really excited about it. We've got a great big schedule lined up. Now, the next things we need to do is, let's just double check. We're going to do our swag and a couple of offers. So, right, let me see if I can do this now. What do? I go here. And so the first thing to mention is that on the 17th and the 10th of September, or the 10th rather, and the 17th of September, we have a free, yes, it's free, people, days training where you can join us, me in actual fact, live, online via Zoom, and it's a full day's training, and every single UK delegate will get a copy of this book sent to them in the post. So if you fancy that, be sure to sign up. There are the 2 dates. We'll run from 10 in the morning till about, I don't know, 4:30 or 5 in the afternoon. Now, if I just put the right link in, there we go, in the chat box, anybody who's interested will be able to do that. Or we do this live, I'll have somebody helping me, I'm thinking, but there we go. So hopefully that goes in there, and you can see that. And then the other thing, somebody said last time they didn't know that there was a couple of other offers. So I'm just going to copy and paste them in. So if you're interested, and Lisa mentioned about the ILM level 5 coaching and mentoring qualification. If you're interested in that, we have an offer of a 20% off, and you just put the discount code in the box, and you'll be able to have that. There it is. And we also mentioned the practitioner, NLP practitioner and coach certification. And I'll post that one as well. That's the last thing I'm going to post. I'm driving you all crazy with these things. There's a 10% discount on that at the moment as well. So that's all of that. And I think we're finished with all that. So what I will do now is, I think we do have some people in the comments, which is pretty good. Let's have a look. We've got a Philip. Oh, we've got Sophie. Hello, Sophie. Lovely to see you. There's the lovely Sophie. And she's interested in some swag. So I'm going to endeavor to run this. Now, I don't know if it'll work with just the two of you because it didn't work last time. We only had Lisa. But let's have a go. And so what I do now is I'm going to take Lisa off for a second. And I'm going to share screen so that everybody can see what I'm doing. Chrome tab, giveaway, share, there we go, and draw. So hopefully you can all see that is going to pick somebody. Ah, Sophie. Of course. Sophie has won. So I go back. Stop screen. So yes, that does work. So that's pretty good. Sophie, I don't need to contact you because I've got all your details already. So we'll send those out. Now, Philip, if you're still there, say hello. And if you say hello with a big smiley face, we'll also send something to you as you are also on the call. So Philip, if you're just there still right now, now is the time to say hello. And I will get something out to you ASAP. And there we go. So I'll just bring Lisa back in for a second. So Lisa, there we go. I really appreciate that. And we've now managed to test every single part of the software. What do you think so far?
Brilliant. I think this is great. It's a great opportunity for people to find out a little bit more about the college and what you offer. So.
Yeah, and that's one of the things. I still meet people here in Swindon, and they say, "Oh, I've never heard of you," or they see, the sign in Old Town that's still there. They go, "Oh, I didn't know that was there." We've been here for 23 years, so it does make you smile sometimes. But what can you do?
Yeah.
So there we go. Alrighty then. I will let you go. Thanks for joining us today. Thanks for everybody who's watching. I really, really appreciate it. And again, to those who watch the replay and send me those really fantastic messages of support, we will be beginning the live scheduled broadcast next Wednesday, and unless we get some feedback about the time, so far everybody said it's the right time. A couple of people said 12 o'clock would be better, but we're going to stick with one unless we get a ream of people saying that 12 o'clock or just after 12, once you get your sandwiches or whatever, would be better. But till we change it, we'll leave it at just after 1 o'clock. We have a whole lot of subjects lined up to be discussing with some other guests that we're going to have on board, and we'll publish a schedule of what's going to be going on the website. So somebody else is saying hello. Let's just see who that is. Oh, it's young Paul. Hello, Paul. I'm assuming you're still in Germany. Great to see you joining us. And hopefully you'll be able to join in some of the future ones as well. Okay, guys, that brings us to the end of today. Thanks to Lisa. Thanks to everybody watching and to all of those on the replay. And I will see you all again next week, just after 1 o'clock. Till then, take care of yourselves. Bye for now.
Thanks, Tony.
Bye.